Welcome back from the read alouds, friends. Again, looking at our I can statement, remember our goal for today is to be able to answer questions about a story using the RACE strategy. And just for today, we're going to be focusing on the first two letters of the RACE strategy, restating the question and answering the question. Now, answering questions about stories is something that you've probably done even before you started to go to school. So let's take another look at what restating the question means. Let's talk a little bit more about that. When I restate a question, I want to answer the question in a way so that if somebody didn't know what the question was, they would still be able to figure out what the question was by the way I answered it. Let's look at a few examples. Let's look at this first question here. How are you feeling today? I said, I am feeling happy. Now, if you didn't know what the question was, but I said my answer to the question is, I'm feeling happy, you'd be able to figure out that the question must have been, how are you feeling? Now, if I just answered the question by saying happy, well, I could have been answering lots of different questions with just happy. The question could have been, how is your brother feeling? How is your teacher feeling? How do you feel when you go see a movie? Right? But by restating the question and saying, I am feeling happy, we make it very clear what question we're answering. Let's take a look at another one. Where do you go to school? I go to school at EVCS. Right? And as you can see, I'm borrowing the words from the question. Right? I go to school at EVCS. I restated the question, and you'd be able to tell what the question was just by my answer. Let's look at the next one. What is your favorite food? My favorite food is pizza. If I just said pizza, the question could have been, what is for lunch today in the cafeteria? Right? But I borrowed from the words from the question, I restated it. My favorite food is pizza. Now this one's a little bit tricky because sometimes we have to restate the question towards the end of our answer. How old is your brother is the question. Now, if I were to follow the pattern from the first three questions, I would want to say something like, how old my brother is 3. But that doesn't really make a lot of sense. That's not really how we speak. So what I said was, my brother is 3 years old. Right? Now, even though I'm restating the question, I'm borrowing the words towards the end of the sentence. You would still be able to tell what question was being asked just by my answer. If I were to just say 3 years old, the question could have been, how old is your sister? And there would be no way to know. All right, friends, so let's take a look at some questions about the story we read today. We're going to answer the first question together. We're going to restate and answer the question. And your ELA mission for today will be to answer questions 2, 3, and 4 on your own, making sure to restate the question and answer it. All right, so our first question is, what is the problem that Moose has? So I want you to tell me out loud right now, how would you restate that question? How could you start to answer this question so that we would know what the question was? What is the problem that Moose has? What you say? What is the problem that Moose has? The beginning of the story. I'm going to restate the question by starting it with the problem that Moose has is that his mustache is too long and messy. Right, so even if you didn't know what the question was, you'd be able to tell, because I borrowed words from the question, problem that Moose has, is that his mustache is too long and messy. Like I said, friends, I've noticed a lot of friends have been doing a really great job with this when you're uploading your videos to Seesaw answering questions about a story. But today I want to try and add restating the question to our written responses. So your Seesaw mission for today, friends, will be to go ahead and answer questions 2, 3, and 4. How does Moose try and solve this problem? What finally solves Moose's problem? And what was your favorite part of the story? You can choose to upload it in a video if that's what you'd like to do, but I would encourage you to try and at least write the answer to one of these questions, practicing the first 2 letters of our race strategy, which is to restate the question and answer the question. Tomorrow, friends, we're going to read another story, and we will add the letters C and E of our race strategy. I hope you enjoyed the story and have a great day.